Today I'm taking on another one lens street photography challenge. And this time I'm in the beautiful village of Lefkara here in Cyprus with the Sigma 2040-70 F2.8. Now my mission is simple, come away with at least 10 Instagram worthy photos using just this one lens. Now let me warm up with a couple of shots and then I'll explain how this series works if you're new here. This is the Mark 1 version of the Sigma 24-70 F2.8 and I love this lens. I use this 90% of the time. Yes, I know this is a full frame lens on an APS-C camera, but that doesn't stop me. And at the time, the APS-C version, so the Sigma 18-50 and the 17-40 wasn't out at the time when I bought this lens, which is why I have this, and I also plan to go full frame in the future. Now I have paired this with Freewell's ultra thin VND CPL because I wanted to take some B-roll as well, which you'll probably see throughout this video. A little bit about Lefkara. It's about 500 to 600 meters high up in the mountains, so it was actually kind of nice to be up this high because it's a little bit cooler, and I'm glad I was in the shade because even in the sun it's still a bit hot late in the evening. And it's actually located between Limassol and Larnaca. It's pretty easy to get to, and it's known for its handmade lace and silver, which you'll see throughout this video. Now I actually got carried away taking photos and I completely forgot to do this section in person, and I prefer to do this in person instead. You're gonna have to listen to my voiceover. So if you're new to the series, here's how it works. Each episode I pick a different lens from my collection, starting from my widest and gradually working my way up to my longest telephoto. And at the same time, I visit a different location here in Cyprus. So if there's somewhere you would like to see, let me know in the comments. And as I go, I'll show you my top 10 photos and just why I caught them, why I think it made it to my list. And at the end, I'll probably reveal my top 3. And I've also will show you my honorable mentions, the ones that didn't make it. So if you enjoy this kind of photography content, hit subscribe. Now let's look for our first photo. Now I want to be upfront here. I got carried away taking photos and I completely forgot to decide as I go which photo I thought I had potential. And it was only about probably halfway that I was like, oops. I'm trying to make a YouTube video, trying to add to my top 10, and I completely forgot. But it was kind of nice to just blank out for a bit because I'm continually making YouTube videos, whether it's for this channel or my main channel. So it was nice to take a little bit of a break and just blank my mind. However, this is the first shot that I would like to share. So this was like for coming into the village originally, and there was like a nice cafe shop where they do crepes. And I just saw the cafe barista on his phone in the window. I lined it up and I've taken it. Just vibed with it pretty much. You can just see village action, if you call this action. It is a very peaceful village and you'll see that through the photos. The cafe shop towards the square of the village as you come in, and the road forks. Now, when I arrived and parked up the car, I found this lost dog and it seems to be rolling around the village. And there was an opportunity where the dog didn't know what it wanted to do. So I managed to capture this. I call this the lost dog. And you can see he was a little bit skittish. I don't know if you're watching these videos, but if you're the owner of this dog, you have a dog running around the village. Hopefully he makes it back. Now I mentioned this in my previous video that I don't like shooting on weekends because it's too busy and too crowded. And going in the week is preferable for myself, and that way I get to just enjoy taking photos in peace. And even though that can make for some less interesting shots because there is less action going on, but you just make do with the situation you get. At least you have time for yourself and just to relax while taking photos. Speaking of relaxing, this is the photo that makes my number 3 spot, and the owner of the shop was just in front, and when I looked behind there was like this ginger cat just sleeping on the windowsill. And yep, Cyprus is full of cats. There's another cat photo. There's probably going to be a lot of this in the series, but I really like this one. I'm going to add it to my list because I wish I could do this and just sleep all day. Now, after taking the top path up through Lefkara village, walking a little bit further up, because there's a load of shops selling handmade lace and silver, opposite the shop, there was this stall with lace being currently made with the needle and their glasses, and I thought this was a photo opportunity, and I kind of vibed the shot. So I think I'm going to add this to number 4 on my list, just to add some variation. Not every photo needs to have a person in it, but this photo kind of tells a story as well. Something that is being handmade and is still in progress, just like this video. Now, just so you get a wider field of view of where I took this, as I walked further up and turned back, there was a gentleman who parked his Mercedes, went into the shop to say hello to the shop owner. Maybe they were related, I don't know. But as he came back out, I was low to the ground and I was pointing the camera back, and he managed to look back at the camera, and he's got a cigarette in his mouth. I think he's holding a watermelon in the green bag, I'm assuming, but I'm probably going to add this to my number 5. Just kind of vibing with it again as well. Also, to let you know that these photos were edited and it wasn't with the preset that I normally use, Mediterranean. I went for something different. I don't know if I'm going to convert this into one, but I kind of vibed with the colors. It kind of suits the theme of the video. A little bit old, a little bit new, something different. But yeah, really liking this edit as well with the colors. Right, this is the challenge I'm having. I'm only using my camera sling this week, and I don't have my peak design clip, and I don't have my strap for my camera. So I pretty much have to hold it all the time or lay it on the floor, making it difficult to use both hands or record, for instance. Now I haven't got a free hand. But this is a beautiful village. I've been here many times. I've actually done some Christmas POVs here as well. Do you want to check it out? It's probably one of the best Christmas villages. And up there is the mountain, and I forgot to bring my drone. Now, it was at this point in the video when I got halfway up through the village of Lefkara where I realized, like, oops, I forgot to add to my list. So that's when I started thinking about it, and at this point, having been around, let's say 5 photos, I was like, oh, am I gonna make it? Because I walked through this village before and it's not that big, and it's not as if we can stop at traffic lights and pan cars or do long exposure shots, because there's not many people walking through the village during the week on a Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon I might add. But a one lens challenge is a one lens challenge, so we continue past the Aurora Hotel. This is a really nice boutique hotel that people come to stay and relax, do biking, spa events. Unfortunately, trying to get a photo with the 24-70 is really difficult because it's a full frame lens on an APS-C camera. The effective focal length is around 35 to 105. I really like this lens. It's just, this is the challenge of the video. I haven't got anything wide enough, and there wasn't many people to make the shot interesting enough to take something outside the hotel. But carrying on down over, I did bump into something that was interesting. Didn't add to my top 10, but I thought I'll talk about it here. So this lady was selling Cyprus delights, and I got to try it, and inside her shop she had this like really old mechanical machine that was making the paper boxes to put the Cyprus delights in, and I found it fascinating for an old village still using some form of old technology to create something to be able to sell to visitors and travelers that coming to Cyprus and visit this village. I highly recommend visiting Lefkara. It's one of the nicest villages in Cyprus, especially around Christmas time. Wasn't able to get a photo that I thought was worthy, but just wanted to show you this. Something interesting to see. Now, before we walk further down, this caught my eye because I really like the lighting through the arch. However, it was fenced off, and this was just a restaurant. It was closed, but I really like the setting here. It was really nice, and I just vibed with this photo. I really like the colors, the lights, the greenery on the wall, the table mosaic style, the plant pots, just everything about this. Like going to eat here, I have to make plans to go to eat here in the village one evening, put it this way. But I'm adding this to my list. This is number 6. Now, as I turn around, I managed to snap number 7 as well. And there was a guy walking his 2 dogs, and I captured this. One looking at me directed the camera. Gentleman's obviously facing away. And then you have one of the dogs peeing on the side. I just found this hilarious. Bit of action in the village for once. So I'm definitely adding this one to my list. I was panicking a bit because I don't know if I was going to make it, because we're running out of village, because we're going to have to do a U-turn soon. So I'm glad to have this as number 7. Now, as I'm walking down the hill towards the church, I actually got distracted because I looked right up, and then all of a sudden I saw a bunch of kittens. And yeah, of course, I am a sucker for cats, and I wanted to check them out. Fortunately, all of them were skittish. So none of these made my top 10, but I'll throw in an honorable mention, and it's just the kitten by the dumpster, which was really cute. Unfortunately, none of them would come close, and they kept on going through the gap in the door, so there must be tons in there. And even walking further up, there was a few more cats just chilling, laying. This is the typical Cyprus life. Definitely want to reincarnate into a cat. I think this would just be the best time ever. Okay, back on track, and walking down the village, I see another lady making some handmade lace. And because we actually have someone making it this time and they're in the frame, I thought I'd add this as number 8 to my list. Just kind of enjoy it. This is village life. This is what it's like in Cyprus. Look at the old wooden chairs, the coffee cup just behind her. She's in action, making the handmade lace to sell to tourists as they come. Vibe this. Nice little still action shot. Now, as I head to the church, I turn around and I see this snazzy old couple, and I really vibed the green shirt of his and her leopard dress. They really complement each other. Then you have the cat crossing the road, they're carrying fresh bread, and I was like, do you know what? I like this shot. There's a lot going on in here. Really snazzy couple. I'm definitely adding this to my number 9 list. And I'm kind of grateful at this point because I didn't think I would make this challenge. I found it really difficult, especially as I forgot early on to start counting. And at this point, I had no idea if I had enough photos to add to my list. Now, at this point, we have reached the end of the village and there's a couple of routes home. So we went for a little walk to see if we can find anything else. Now, as I walk up this alleyway, which is really cute, and it did say no photography, but I didn't see that till later because the sign is not eye line or eye level. However, I did see this nice little message on the wall, and I thought I'd share it with you guys because it is a good reminder that we should always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. Hopefully that wonderful thing would be for this video to get a little bit more views and for you to have some form of enjoyment. But what do you want to believe something wonderful to happen? Let me know in the comments. Now, after walking through several roads and alleys trying to find something, I did take photos, but I don't know if they were worthy of my top 10. And I will be adding a couple of posts on the Instagram, so feel free to check that out to see the photos that made my top 10 and the ones that didn't, because I'll be posting them there eventually. So a couple of honorable mentions. We have the cat on the windowsill. This was a gorgeous cat, nice and fluffy. There was loads around this house. There was this plant. I don't know what it's called. If you know what it's called and you're a plant person, let me know in the comments. But we see this a lot in Cyprus. They're great. However, they become so messy come fall, because when their leaves fall, they just go everywhere. More cats. I love this one because they're all just like chilling on the road. Again, some are skittish, some are unbothered, but I really like this. Now, after not much success, and not knowing whether I had 10 photos, walking back down through the village because it's been almost a couple of hours, I think. I lost track of time completely. And yeah, all of this looks similar, trying to find some action. And as I turn around to look back up, I think this is my number 10. And I just completed the challenge because the light coming through and the car coming down landed perfectly. So this is the one I'm going to add to my number 10. I just love the light coming through personally, and even the gold car. And then you can see the quiet streets, people on the side chilling. Really like that. So this is my number 10 shot. And that means I have completed my one lens challenge successfully with the Sigma 24-70 paired with the Sony a6700. Now this whole session, I took around 102 photos, which is actually not a lot considering my other ones were 3 to 4 times. Yes, some of those were burst photos in previous episodes that I've done. But trying to find 10 that I personally think worthy to share on Instagram that I enjoyed, this was difficult, this one. Now, my top 3 photos from the top 10 set will probably be the Lost Dog, because I really like that. It just shows a moment in time that I remember going there. The gentleman with the old man with the Mercedes staring at the camera down the village, just a vibe. I love the colors in this. But yeah, this one's also going to make number 2 slot. And to round that off, I'm probably going to use the snazzy old couple with the gentleman with his green shirt and the lady in her leopard skin dress with the cat crossing the road. I think this is going to be my top 3. Let me know which were your favorites in the comment section down below. So what did you think of the Sigma 24-70 for street photography, particularly on the Sony a6700, which is an APS-C camera? Which of the photos from today's video did you enjoy? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one lens street photography challenge. And if you ever visit Cyprus and you want to explore the island through photography, check the links in the description box down below. I've also included a free photo spots guide for your inspiration. I'll see you in Cyprus soon.